Currently, Mercury is in retrograde. And if you know anything about Mercury in retrograde, you know that usually tech issues, communication issues are a thing. That is par for the course, because you know how many times I've tried to record this? I think I'm on my 5th time currently. So let's see if this sticks. So Mercury went retrograde on June 29th in the sign of Cancer. And this is why this retrograde is hitting differently than previous retrogrades that we've had in recent years. So let's talk about this. Cancer is a water sign. Cancers have a lot of depth to them, and they kind of represent, home life, emotional memory. These, Cancers are deep thinkers, but deep feelers as well too. They feel things very deeply. So when Mercury is hitting the sign in retrograde, what is actually happening is that people are experiencing a lot more intensity of emotions, maybe with communication. So for example, misunderstandings could feel deeply personal, not just logistical. So this isn't about tech going awry. This isn't about just missing an email. This is about deep emotional impact during this time. So you may be experiencing misunderstandings. You may not have, you may be experiencing emotional depths as a result that, you might not typically feel. So what makes this interesting is on July 8th, Mercury, while still retrograde, transitions into the sign of Gemini. Geminis are air signs. I love Geminis. I love you guys. I'm married to one. They're really communicative. They like to chat. They like to talk. It's about information. It's about the mind, about the nervous system. So what's going to happen is when we start in Cancer, we're starting here, and then we're going to end here. So we're going to feel everything, and then we're going to try to make sense of what we felt. And if you have struggled with communicating that would make sense given that Mercury will still be retrograde. So I want you to think about, obviously what's happening currently, but also when we look back, the last time Mercury went retrograde in Cancer was June 2020. So let me just have you sit with that. What was happening in your life in June of 2020? Something that may have started there, you might now be seeing the same patterns or the same themes coming up. And I mean, obviously that was 6 years ago. And if you can't remember, what was happening in your life at that time, something that I like to do is check your camera roll, check your emails, check your phone, just to kind of see, or if you have a record, if you keep a journal, see what was happening in your life at that time in June of 2020. So you might see recurring themes, happening. So what the heck do we do about this? Because we have until July 23rd until Mercury stations direct. My first suggestion is to slow things down. Take a pause. For me, because tech is something that I struggle with already, but then retrograde, I will double and triple check things because things won't sync to my calendar, or I may miss emails, I may miss communication, and so slow things down. The other thing is, if you are feeling that intense emotion, you may want to give yourself like 24 hours to respond to a message, an email, maybe returning to a conversation when you're in a different space. Giving yourself that time, giving yourself that grace, you will be glad that you did. And I would encourage you not only to give grace and compassion to yourself at this time, but for others as well too. So there's a lot that people are feeling and experiencing right now. There's a lot just happening cosmically, astrologically, and I'm going to talk about that in future videos. But this retrograde in particular, like I said, is hitting really different. So I would love to know how you are experiencing this retrograde and what kinds of things are coming up for you, what kinds of themes. Let's talk about it, and let's get through it together, because it sucks. It just sucks. I know it's happening for us, not to us, but my God, is it frustrating. So yeah, I'd like to hear, what is happening for you. And let's get through it together. We got a few more weeks.